Coverage though?
Yeah. But that's typically harder, I think, the zones for quarterbacks. I'm gonna say they made a bad decision. They should have got Shedeur Sanders. And like, maybe I was looking at tape, because he's not bad. Jaxson Dart's not a bad quarterback. And you're comparing him to Josh Allen. It makes sense. I want a guy like Josh Allen too. Like, every team wants that. Until you really watch him, he looks nothing like Josh Allen. Where at? Arm strength? They not even the same class.
No.
And then we keep talking about all this, like this mobility and scramble and all that. Like, he don't run like Josh Allen.
Giants considering trading up for a quarterback, Jaxson Dart, later in the first round. Bad businesses tend to overcompensate for previous mistakes and reach. So the idea the Giants now think Jaxson Dart is the dude for the future in New York. Let me just ask you this. You ever notice that a lot of the quarterbacks that don't make it, you weren't paying a lot of attention to in college, and they suddenly got really...
What if I told you that on draft night, the New York Giants might have just tossed away their future? The Giants took a risk and passed, while Shedeur Sanders and one of the most NFL-ready quarterbacks in recent memory waited. Rather, they fully invested in Jaxson Dart, a dangerous prospect who showed promise but lacked Sanders' consistency. After only a few weeks, that choice is already maturing like milk. Serious concerns are being raised by reports from OTAS. NFL legends are calling the selection a disaster in the making, and coaches are questioning it. Did the Giants make one poor decision that would damage their next 5 years? Or is this simply a case of premature panic? Let's dissect it. The Giants' decision to select Jaxson Dart over Shedeur Sanders seemed to be motivated more by fear than by strategy. And it didn't take long for blowback. Fans, experts, former players, and even luminaries like Michael Irvin and Tom Brady were shocked by what they were witnessing. And after only a few weeks of off-season exercise, the remorse is already starting to surface. This didn't feel right to the surface in New York from the start. Sanders was lighting up college football, whereas Dart wasn't. Shedeur demonstrated calmness in the pocket, precision accuracy on deep balls, and leadership you can't teach against elite players. Dart, meantime, experienced flashes. Yes, but it wasn't consistent. So why did the Giants accept such a massive?
Roster right now is not good enough to keep their jobs for another year. They're going to lose a bunch. And Jaxson Dart is not a tantalizing enough prospect for everyone to want to see it through. So they're not going to say, oh, why don't you stay on and develop these guys? So then you get the worst thing you could possibly get, which is a regime change in the middle of a rookie quarterback's contract when the rookie isn't anointed as the chosen one, and then things get lost. That's why I don't like it from time to time.
Everyone is currently wondering about the NFL, and the early indicators aren't making it any easier. Fans were hopeful that reports from the Giants' OTA sessions wouldn't be true. There are problems with accuracy, erratic readings, and a glaring lack of leadership in the group. It's becoming increasingly clear every day. It's possible that Dart isn't prepared for the NFL spotlight. Members of the coaching staff are already wondering if they supported the wrong quarterback, according to a source close to the squad. This is where things become worse. During the pre-draft phase, Dart was highly anticipated. He was even compared to Josh Allen by some. Let's end it there. Josh and Jaxson Dart are being compared. Allen is akin to comparing a blowtorch to a matchstick. Although they are both quarterbacks, that is the only similarity between them. Josh Allen is incredibly mobile and has exceptional arm strength. It's evident that Dart is still learning the fundamentals. Let's talk about awful Sanders now. From the beginning, the man has remained composed under duress. He doesn't simply play quarterback. He is an expert at it, whether it's threading needles between opponents or easily getting out of collapsing pockets. Nevertheless, he managed to get through the first round unharmed. Michael Irvin described it as unbelievable. He's not incorrect either. It seems careless to leave Shedeur on the board for a team that purports to prioritize leadership and output.
Value we put on quarterbacks in this league. That's shocking that Shedeur Sanders did not get drafted last night. That's just, and asking me what was the reason.
It wasn't just Irvin who was taken aback. Boomer Esiason also didn't hold back. Simply put, NFL teams don't typically want a quarterback like Dart. He even referred to Dart as a mute quarterback. In other words, he lacks the presence and disposition necessary to manage a group of people. That's harsh. But if it's accurate, it would be disastrous for a team like the Giants, who has spent years searching for a quarterback identity. Liam McCoy is another. His response was complete bewilderment. He stated unequivocally that Josh Allen and Dart are not in the same class. Not in presence, not in movement, and not in arm strength. McCoy went back to Shedeur once more, emphasizing that Sanders had a far higher ceiling and might have provided the Giants with the kind of composed, self-assured leadership they sorely need. However, they pursued a comparison that was never relevant in the first place. The Giants didn't simply let Sanders slip, which exacerbates the situation. In order to obtain Dart, they actively traded up. It's not a lighthearted move. That's a claim. This is a franchise that says, this is our guy, and we're betting the house on him. Additionally, it appears to be a mistake that could result in employment losses. Even Tom Brady entered the discussion to support Shedeur rather than disparage Dart. After the selection, Brady disclosed that he personally texted Sanders to encourage him. And it means a lot when one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time takes the time to give you a motivational speech. Brady told him that despite being selected 199th overall, he went on to become a superstar. Yes, it was a message of hope, but there was also a faint undertone. You were deserving of better. Colin Cowherd also didn't hold back. He referred to the Giants' ruling as a prime example of overcompensation. He claimed that this was an overly ambitious attempt by the team to address years of quarterback shortcomings in a single, ostentatious move while disregarding basic logic. He claims that Dart's characteristics prevented the Giants from selecting him. Because of their aspirations for him, they drafted him. Additionally, that way of thinking hardly ever succeeds. And here we are now. Even before the season has begun, there are a lot of questions. Will Dart grow quickly enough? Can the coaching staff help him improve without compromising victories? What happens if Sanders, who is already receiving recognition for his talent and work ethic, decides to play for a different team? The pressure inside the Giants facility is practically palpable. Everyone wants their rookie quarterback to become the next big thing. After all, however, this circumstance feels different. It's fear rather than merely skepticism. Because the media will eventually point the finger at the front office, scouts, head coach, and possibly even ownership if Dart doesn't perform well. Furthermore, let's face it, the media in New York is difficult. They aim for the jugular. Thus, this is our current situation. The Giants took a chance on potential by passing on a seasoned leader with NFL experience, exceptional accuracy, and composure under duress. Already, that potential appears uncertain. And the man they lost, every day, he gains credibility, admirers, and support. This leads us to the question that is currently being asked by everyone. Did the Giants just give their future franchise quarterback to another team? Even though Giant supporters are making an effort to maintain optimism, the current situation cannot be sugar-coated. Every pass that is underthrown, every practice play that is broken, and every moment that Jaxson Dart hesitates are all being dissected. The murmurs are becoming more audible. Furthermore, they are not merely external. According to insiders, some employees are already arguing over whether Dart is the real deal or just another moniker on the lengthy line of unsuccessful ventures. Do you recall the time Daniel Jones was thought to have the solution? Yes, we have already seen this film. The Giants are still paying for their large wager on an unprepared quarterback and the keys they gave him. It is so perplexing to see them repeat what appears to be the same error with a new name on the jersey. The fact that Shedeur Sanders is still out there with a chip on his shoulder, laser focused, and prepared to exact revenge on the teams that passed on him just serves to exacerbate the agony. He's not pouting. He is not placing blame on anyone. You can bet the comparisons will start as soon as he sets foot on an NFL field because he is training hard. Every highlight Sanders produces will be compared side by side with Dart's New York endeavors. The spotlight is only going to get hotter. Pete Prisco, an analyst, was direct about it. He rated the Giants' selection a C-. And not only because Dart requires more time. He believes the Giants don't have that time, which is why. The market in New York is now winning. Fans won't wait 3 years to find out if their quarterback has potential. They are looking for outcomes. And this might quickly get out of control if Dart is unable to deliver. Front office layoffs, coaching adjustments, or perhaps a complete reconstruction. Drafting a project in a high-stress environment like the NFC East carries that risk. There are no free wins in this division. Power moves are being made by Philadelphia, Dallas, and even Washington. The Giants are optimistic that their rookie quarterback will make it through training camp. And since it needs to be addressed, let's discuss the Josh Allen parallel once more. Josh Allen was a once-in-a-generation physical pro with the capacity to overwhelm opponents and a cannon for an arm. Additionally, Buffalo Dart had a comprehensive developmental plan created specifically for him. He is already expected to lead, compete, and support a team that has been without a quarterback for almost 10 years. That comparison is unfair. It's wishful thinking disguised as scouting. It was called out by Lise McCoy. He claimed that Dart lacks Allen's arm strength, legs, and presence. He stated unequivocally that the Giants made it, and not by much. The pick wasn't the only thing that confused him. He was taken aback. He is not the only one, either. Following the selection, social media erupted with supporters questioning how Shedeur Sanders, with his track record, football acumen, and proven output, was passed over in favor of a maybe. Remember that Shedeur is the son of Deion Sanders, an NFL Hall of Famer. His passion for football is ingrained in his DNA, not just his blood. He was raised in an environment of excellence, which is evident in his demeanor. Calm under duress, concentrated, modest, but forceful when necessary. The man thrives on significant occasions. The Giants responded, "Nah, we're good." Colin Cowherd took it a step farther. He wasn't merely critical of the choice. He referred to it as a cover-up. The Giants weren't drafting talent, he said. They were attempting to cover up their previous mistakes with an ostentatious, sentimental choice. And you know what? That's how it feels, like a panic attack. However, they persuaded themselves that this quarterback had to succeed without really demonstrating his abilities, much like a squad that has been let down numerous times at quarterback. This is where the Giants start to feel quite uneasy. What would happen if Shedeur Sanders found himself in a system that truly suited him? What happens if he finds a coach who has faith in him, a group of supporters that allow him to develop, and a team that grows around him? The Giants will be the epitome of draft day regret if he blows up, which is highly likely. You can't help but think that this is more than just a poor choice. It has to do with a pattern. For years, the Giants have struggled to find a quarterback. The Giants are still holding out hope that this guy, this next name, would finally break the curse while other teams are establishing consistency at center. Here's the reality, though. Nobody in the building wants to acknowledge that Shedeur Sanders might have been that person. They also gave him permission to walk. The pressure is quite high right now. Every picture Jaxson Dart takes will be scrutinized and evaluated not only on its own merits, but also in relation to Sanders' other actions. The media is observing. Fans are observing. The NFL community is observing. Additionally, this won't simply be a bad choice if Dart falters, which he already does by a number of accounts. It will be a franchise-altering error. Now, let's ask the actual question. What does Jaxson Dart's current definition of success even look like? Does the Giants' decision to pass on Sanders require him to be a professional bowler? Does he have to guide them to the first-year playoffs? Because let's face it, anything less will feel disappointing. Young quarterbacks are destroyed by that kind of pressure. Shedeur Sanders, on the other hand, gets to portray the underdog, the overlooked star, the one that every analyst believes ought to have gone higher. You can be sure that he will use that as fuel. He doesn't have to mention the Giants' name, but everyone will be thinking it after every touchdown pass, game-winning drive, and post-game interview. The worst thing for New York is that it cannot be reversed. The choices have been made, the selection has been made, and the countdown has begun. While the other quarterback has the potential to become a superstar, the first is struggling to survive. Only one of them is dressed in blue. What now, Giant supporters? Do you still think Dart has a solution? Are you prepared to exercise patience once more? Or are we only witnessing the real-time repetition of history? Is this really one more chapter in the lengthy history of potential moments for this franchise? Because this is the truth. This won't only be a poor choice if Jaxson Dart continues to falter and Shedeur Sanders develops into the quarterback everyone anticipated. For years to come, it will be remembered as the time the Giants mishandled their future. Let's see how this tale develops. Remember to subscribe for more raw NFL drama and daring opinions that you won't find anywhere else.